Well,
Okay.
Lily has her mic, so I guess Lily's hosting.
Sure. Yeah, I'll
No,
host.
I have my mic.
And I have notes. I didn't share them because
Good. That makes it funny.
My mic is
Yeah.
plugged in. What are you talking about?
Huh?
My mic, I double check the settings. I'm using my mic.
nobody believes you.
I hear your voice. No, you sound.
I love how I feel like. Look, I'm not going to say that me and Shai make a bigger effort about the show. I'm not going to start that kind of shade or that kind of shit here on this episode.
Definitely don't. Think about how many places Becky has traveled with me with this show.
Not only that, I disappeared for like a few weeks. So
Thank God you can't see my face right now.
Okay,
Thank God you can't.
I would never. I'm giving the people what they want, which is like a little sibling kerfuffling.
Becky and I
how many episodes did Shai and I record alone?
Becky and I one day recorded 3 episodes of this show.
Amazing. You guys are superheroes.
But Lily writes notes once and she's like, "Oh my God, you're worse than a husband." A husband is like, "Look, I put a dish in the sink. Where's my parade?" Lily's like, I wrote notes that I didn't even
you didn't
share
let me
with
finish
anyone.
the sentence. You didn't let me finish. It's not about the notes.
Am I getting my own signal?
It's not about the notes. Shai's wife, who doesn't listen to this podcast, pipes in. I was on that episode. Pipes into our chat, and she's like, "Oh, I just love Becky's candy, whatever." And I'm like, I'm so glad Becky's your favorite, Allie. So glad.
I'm the most present in the podcast.
I don't know if that's true, but maybe it's true for the last few months. But I do want to thank you too and commend you.
I want to commend you.
Should we start?
No,
wait, should we start?
Before we start, I want to commend you for writing.
It's a very long cold open for Shai.
For writing notes that you didn't share with anyone in preparation.
No, but I love a surprise notes situation. In fairness,
I love when Shai has surprise notes. It's like the best. Shai's surprise notes are so much better than mine will be, but that's my favorite game is when Shai has surprise notes.
Is this just, are we just, is this
We're not doing an opening?
or have we just started the show?
We just started.
You're hosting today, Lily, so you can decide.
So here we go. I feel like the music needs to start now.
Okay.
Is that our music?
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Here we are, and welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. This is my very sexy, very cold, have a cold voice. It's like, I love you, my babies, when Phoebe has the cold in Friends and her music career takes off.
I think you sound very professional.
Yeah, you sound like Mom when she's super tired.
But it's like Phoebe in the sense that I sound much better with a cold than without. So,
well, because your normal voice sounds like Joan Rivers.
Yeah, 100%. I have a hard time listening to myself on this podcast.
Now, I know you're in charge of this episode, but I do realize we haven't talked about it because it's been a very difficult couple of weeks in the world. But I think we owe it to people to talk about the fact that we did win the listener's choice.
We did. Go ahead. You did all the work.
We won the listeners. No, we all did together. The 3 of us won the Listener's Choice Award for Best Co-Hosts in a limited series for the Signal Awards in 2023. This is a huge tribute and thank you to everybody who listens to this show, all the friends,
and who voted,
all the family, and everyone who voted. We just had a huge, amazing showing this year. And it's really exciting. It's really exciting, and we're so thankful that we get to do the show, and so thankful that people paid attention and voted. And we have an exciting year ahead. So thanks for giving us so much energy and motivation.
Yes, we are multi-award winning. Well, we were before because we won 2.
Our third Signal Award. It's exciting.
Our third
and then sorry, and I also want to say a huge thank you. I wish I could list all the people right now, but I can't. But a huge thank you to all of the people who were with us at South by Southwest, or even Lily from far away doing interviews for South by Southwest. So many incredible interviews we did. with so many amazing artists, people who came back for a second year in a row, like Jude Hope Harris and Krista Fatka. We had, the legendary Emily Hampshire of Montreal fame and Schitt's Creek. It was a really, really, really amazing run at South by Southwest. And a huge thank you also to our friends at the Platform Media Group, who always bring us amazing interviews. It's really exciting to talk to all those folks, and then to get recognized for it is wild. And to my sister Becky, who got a full dose of Never Stop, Never Stopping.
I still haven't recovered.
Becky's still exhausted, really tired.
It was more exhausting than honestly having a newborn.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I'm going to kick us off. Well, I was going to kick us off with a story. I don't know if I've told this story before on the pod. If I hadn't, we have so many episodes, like who even knows? So I'm going to retell it. And we thought that me and Becky were doing this episode alone, but I'm keeping the theme anyways. A surprise, Shai's here because he can't miss an episode, for God's sakes. And so he's here, everybody, making a huge effort as always. And so the theme is sisters. And I think that there's no better story to tell than me and Becky, not the story where Becky put gum in my hair, or I don't know. I don't remember doing anything bad to Becky, so I can't.
You once slammed my face into a radiator, but that's
who punched who in the taxi
Becky
cab?
punched me in a cab.
Oh, I hit her in a cab, and I also once physically pushed you out of the car while I was driving.
Yeah, we don't have to get into any of that, but we're extremely close because obviously only super close sisters fight like that. And there's a story that I love of of our sisterhood. There's so many traveling all over the place together, holding each other's hand through many, many different times, being there at the birth of Becky's first child. There's a lot of amazing sister stories between us. But Beck, my all-time favorite is the one from elementary school.
That's such a good story.
I love that story.
And it's so good.
And I hope that, for other sisters out there.
When mom and dad sent Becky to a school where she didn't speak the language and they thought she was mute.
No. I thought you were going to say the time that mom sent Becky with a plátano instead of a banana.
So in case you were wondering, being the youngest was hard in its own way. Okay, I know you two like to pretend I had it.
No, it was super hard.
I'm sure it was very hard.
By the time she got to me, no one cared. They were just like, "Oh, just send her to that French school; she'll figure it out." No one was worried about me.
Very sink or swim situation. And so we're in elementary school. I'm in I think I was in third grade.
I was either in first or second grade. Yeah,
you were in first, and I was in third.
First grade, yeah,
and I was in third, and. You weren't by third grade, you were not allowed to go to the bathroom during class. Like, it was very strict. And I see Becky, they left the door open of the classroom, and I could see little Becky walking across the hall, who's obviously in first grade, they let you go to the bathroom, who had gotten permission to go during class. And I was so excited to see her little face walk by my class that I raised my hand right away. And I was like, it's an emergency.
No, you're missing from my perspective.
Oh.
I walk by and I see you, and I had to pee
the extra
badly.
second,
and I paused for that one moment, and I just
he waved
with a huge smile on my face, and for that brief moment, forgetting how badly I have to pee and how
your little 6-year-old self had to pee, or 5-year-old. You could have been 5.
And then I rushed to the bathroom, and as I get to the bathroom, I go to pull down my pants to pee, and I was just a half a second too late. That half a second where I stopped to wave to Lily, and I just peed
over herself.
I just had it. Peed everywhere, and I completely missed the toilet, and I just peed in my clothes.
So awful. I'm in the class. I see her little frizzy bangs bobble by. She says hi. She keeps going. I'm in third grade. You're not allowed to leave the class. But I beg. I remember my chair was right by the door. I remember begging. It was a complete emergency. Please let me go. And teacher lets me go, and I run to the bathroom so I can see Becky. And when I open the door, she's standing there, like tears that she's peed herself and would have to go back to class this way, like risk getting made fun of and like a whole thing. And I was like, not on my watch. And I snuck down the hall and went to the Lost and Founds and I got you shorts, like some like dirty kids gym shorts, but it was worth it. Got you shorts. It was probably way too big on you. You were like the tiniest human being I've ever seen.
Small. I remember.
It was probably like a very small kindergartner shorts.
The scratchiness of the
those those uniform gym shorts. Found her some gym shorts to wear under her tunic because we had to wear a uniform. That was a tunic. I'm pretty sure I threw those leggings in the trash.
No, you undressed me. You took off the leggings. You cleaned me up. You dried me up. You threw the leggings out. You put the shorts on under my tunic. Sent me right back to class. And I remember thinking like, how you had saved the day. Like you had saved my life in that moment. And I remember thinking, it's so weird that the teacher hasn't noticed that I left in pants and came back in shorts in the middle of winter in Montreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love when I hear these secret, like this whole secret world that you all have together for two reasons. One, makes me really happy to hear you all taking care of each other. But then I also get like annoyed that all this stuff happened and I never knew about it. Like there's all this this whole secret world of the two of you being sisters.
You were very busy
that I know nothing about.
Video games. I mean, if you could go back, but probably the secret world existed because you were very busy. And to be fair, most of our objective was to hang out with you. So
can we just come back to
tirelessly made an effort as a team to get your attention.
Can we just come back to the tunic for a second? I don't think people understand the word tunic the way we do. Like, when I think of a tunic, but when I think of a tunic, I think of a
uniform frock that you wear a belt around so that it looks like a skirt and a top, but it's not.
It's like a potato sack.
It's like a potato sack.
It's a giant pleated potato sack
that you wore a belt around
with a big seal on it of the Solomon Schechter School, and it is dark blue. Because I think when people hear tunic, they're thinking like a Viking's like loincloth.
No. It's like a potato sack.
Giant pleated potato sack.
The most uncomfortable material.
2 armholes.
Shout out to Shoshana Weinberger, Alana Austin, Tiffany Pinchuk, all of the people my age who wore the tunic.
Shout out to absolutely no one from my age.
Yeah, from Becky's class.
Yeah, no one from Becky's elementary school class. Yeah, we can still keep listing. Yeah.
But yes, Becky and my bond is quite strong and very grateful. And it led me to think of like the amazing movies that are about sisters. There's not that many that I love. I went through so many lists and I was like, oh, that movie's depressing. That's a terrible and I was just like, okay, there's a few out there that I've chosen. I know there's many more, but don't come at me because I picked the ones that are my favorites. And that's just the way it is. I want to start with the best, like one of the best sister movies. And it doesn't really matter if you go with Gerwig or you go with the original. Mm-hmm. But if we think about Little Women, my question for you both is, which sister are you? Don't look at me like I'm Beth.
You're obviously Beth.
I'm pretty sure Becky said that
on Shabbat dinner on Friday night.
I'm pretty sure Becky said that the other day over Shabbat dinner.
I
when you
have
were
to put myself on mute to cough.
And I was specifically about how you're both sickly all the time and need to be by the seaside, and how like you also can't live without your sisters, without like your siblings, like, and you're like convalesced by the seaside, and you're quite
very accurate. Well, Shai's a bit of a Meg. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I've seen both these movies because I watched them with my kids.
Here's the thing.
Meg's the oldest.
Here's the thing. I think I'm a Joe, but in reality, I'm an Amy. We know it.
Oh, that's a great. I was going to go with Joe, but
but I'm really just Amy.
You need to describe them based on the ending. Emma Watson is Joe.
Yes.
Okay.
Joe
Winona Ryder is Joe.
Winona Ryder. Joe is like the independent thinker and the rebel.
She wants to become a writer, and she's writing the plays.
Amy is the one that just ends up marrying someone cute and like wants nice things. And I'm like, what? I'm like, which
she ends up marrying Lori.
Yeah, she ends up marrying Lori and just like wants to wear pretty dresses. I'm like, which one am I really? I don't know. You guys tell me.
I think you're a combo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Becky's a combo. But so wait, which one am I? You have to tell me.
Meg. You're the one that like marries the sensible teacher,
the muddle,
and
the muddle
from Taylor from.
She does everything sensible.
Okay,
right.
That's reasonable.
The next question, I think this is a very easy question about sister movies, but it's just a very simple question. Parent Trap, old versus new.
I mean, okay, so here's what I'm going to say about this. The Haley Mills and the Haley Mill one is amazing. And we were raised on that movie. Like, we watched that so many times. My impression of what camp was going to be like, and you know how important Jewish summer camp is for us, was mostly built around that movie before I went to camp. Like, I was worried about people cutting my hair and having to...
and like leaks in the tent. The leaks.
The leaks in the tent and my pictures flying all over the place. And then having to go also like, meet another set of parents afterwards.
To summer camp?
Like somebody else's parents pick you up and take you home.
So
Ooh,
that one is incredible. For my kids, though, I think we've made them watch both. I don't even remember. They love that Lindsay Lohan version, and the Lindsay Lohan version isn't that different.
No, so, I watched the Lindsay Lohan version with my kids the other day, and I mean, it holds up.
It holds up. Oh, that's good to know.
So good still. Yeah. No, it absolutely holds up, and she's so fantastic in it.
And you've even got Dennis Quaid in there for mom, one of her all-time moms.
I mean, that's the other thing is that Dennis Quaid, Natasha Richardson, I mean, how you're shipping them so hard. How are you, like, you love them. You, like, love that combo.
But, like, the premise is absolutely, like, it's a bit much, though, right? They just were like, you take one and I'll take one.
And then we'll never tell each other that we exist.
I mean, it's very dark.
It is very dark. Right.
What kind of parents?
But they both send them to the same summer camp. Like, that just seems a bit... I mean, I love it. I'm never going to criticize that movie. You don't need logic, right?
That's why the older one is more believable, because that does sound like the kind of thing that happened in our parents' generation.
And also, you wouldn't know. Like, there's no... There's like what? Like
apps.
Probably like and a few camps, and that's it. Why the one from England went to an American camp is confusing to me, though. Right? Oh, maybe they weren't sleepaway camps.
No, they don't live in England, though. I think...
No. In
Lindsay Lohan
one, they live in England.
Oh, I don't remember where they live. Anyways, I just remember the grandpa smells like tobacco and peppermint.
Oh my God, I want to just smell that grandpa all day. So good. Oh, I love the movie so much.
Our grandpa
yeah. No, that is true. Maybe that's why.
And do you remember why he has the tobacco and peppermint? He's like, the peppermint is for my indigestion, and the tobacco is to annoy your grandmother.
That's a great line. Oh my God. Those were different times as they recommend smoking to children films. Okay, on to animated. And this is, you have to kind of like pick a best of. And I think, I'm assuming we know which like animated sister movie is going to get number one, obviously. So there's Lilo and Stitch, because that's about two sisters. Frozen. Ovs. And then on the list, because there's not that many others, unless you can think of one that I can't think of. My Friend Totoro came up as a sister movie. I haven't seen that because it's so boring.
Totoro.
My Neighbor Totoro, yeah, that's a beautiful
My Neighbor Totoro is like a beautiful, beautiful story about sisters.
Oh, maybe I should.
It's
watch
like a magical.
Extremely boring.
But there's also a cat bus.
There's
a bus shaped like a cat, like that's also a cat.
About these two sisters, Satsuki and Mei, and
okay. So tell me which one wins of those three.
Oh,
wait, hold on. What about, doesn't The Little Mermaid have sisters?
I'm pretty sure they're all bitches and not really nice to her, so I don't think that counts as a sister movie.
Doesn't Cinderella have sisters?
They're terrible, Shai. I would not say that
they're evil stepsisters.
They're literally evil stepsisters. That's their title in the movie.
I feel like you're demonizing a blended family.
That's amazing. Okay, we have to go quick because we have to get to like so many others.
Okay, Frozen.
Yeah, I would say of those, like, My Neighbor Totoro is a more beautiful, better film in a lot of ways. But if you're talking about a core sister story, Frozen, is a very powerful, right in your face sister story.
Okay. And then I just want to like honorably mention
Encanto, because that has some very strong sister themes.
What? Oh, Encanto? I mean,
some strong sister themes. It's like a lot of it is about her.
That movie, you know what? The
Mirabelle
movie makes no sense.
I think it makes complete sense.
The movie makes no sense, literally.
Different.
They were like, you know what we don't need in this movie? A plot that makes sense. Let's just put some fun songs.
Yeah. I mean, that too.
That's fine. I love the movie. It's just
There's
like
some
that
strong
actual
sister
story.
themes.
I mean, I guess the one like with the three of the one that's the tough one and the one that with the flowers. Sure.
Louisa, Isabella.
Still can't fucking figure out the ending of that
Mirabelle.
movie.
Yeah.
But I would say that I have to honorably mention A League of Their Own, because
That's
those
a
are
great
sisters
sister
that
movie.
That's a great
struggle.
sister story.
Yeah, that struggle. 10 Things I Hate About You, they also struggle.
Oh,
so
it's a
these are
great
like more like
sister
struggling
story.
sisters.
Oh, that's good.
But it's about
Those are
them,
great.
like, you know, coming
together. Yeah,
Wait, do
same
the
thing-
sisters and 10 Things I Hate About You even interact with each other? I feel like those are two separate
Not
movies
until
going
like,
on the whole
well,
time.
yeah, they're very contentious towards each other, and then at the end, they kind of stand up for each other. And
Do they?
a little bit, yeah. She stands up for her big sister. Bianca stands up for Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Is it her
remember.
name? Cat. But the reason that we're here today, and it's a short episode, but the real reason we're here today is because it is the 25th anniversary.
The greatest sister movie of all time.
25th anniversary of the greatest sister movie of all time, which Becky and I both rewatched. Or I don't know, Becky, if you got a chance to rewatch it. But I
rewatched it.
I stayed up way too late last night rewatching it, sending Becky memes of the best sister movie of all time, which, to prove Rotten Tomatoes is baseless and full of shit, got 23% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's one of the greatest, like, 90s
in the movie
movies, and it's incredible.
Practical magic, which is so amazing.
100%
holds up.
Stands the test
I
of
think
time.
I've only seen a few minutes of it, but what is it? It's about like a magic bat mitzvah or something like that.
No, it's not. It's about, oh my gosh, it's about these sisters that come from generations of witches, 300 years of witches in their family, and they've been ostracized in the same town that they've lived in for 300 years, and there's a curse on their family. And so each generation, the different things happen to the different sisters. And in the movies about Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, Jilly and Sally, who are navigating the world as these very two different witches, one who doesn't want to be, but the only way to survive the like crazy things that happen to them is to bond together.
Yeah,
and
through their sisterly bond.
Their sisterly bond. Plus, it has
Aiden
Aidan Quinn.
Okay, and Diane Weiss and Stockard Channing, and Diane Weiss and Stockard Channing are iconic in this movie.
They are so good.
Really, if I could imagine growing old into being one iconic like woman, it's going to be one of those two ladies.
Wait, did Diane Weiss and Stockard Channing play older versions of?
No,
they play
Sandra Bullock.
They play their great aunts. They play their great aunts.
I'm really. This isn't the movie where it's
not
young
Hocus
and old.
Pocus, which is also a great sister.
No. The one where they're young and they're old and they're remembering back and forth in time.
No,
I feel like Rosie O'Donnell is not in this movie.
No,
that's now and then.
Christina Ricci.
That's now and then, but they're not sisters. They're just best friends. It's a coming of age story.
Practical Magic. It's Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are witches and they're sisters, and it's about them like fighting this family curse. But it's so like everything about it, the costumes, the production design of the house, like the witchiness of their family.
This sounds by the way, this is totally the plot of Winona Earp, which I recommend watching. It's about sisters also.
Okay,
no, Shai,
sure. Thank you for that.
Watch it with your kids. It's so good.
Practical Magic is so good. It 100% stands up. The soundtrack is fantastic. I was going to say,
shout out to the soundtrack. We had the soundtrack, and rewatching the movie, I was reliving the endless. I mean, like, we listened to that soundtrack for years.
And I feel like to have been exposed to Nicole Kidman in the 80s in BMX Bandits and watch her star just continue to rise, it has been a privilege. Like, she's one of the best actresses of all time. But to get to see, like, understand in context of her career that she did that movie, it's amazing to me now as an adult.
Well, her and Sandra Bullock. I mean, and it was
Sandra Bullock. True, Sandra Bullock was not as famous as her, though.
No, but
she was not.
Speed.
I'm sorry, their hair was so long in that movie. Like, how beautiful and long is their hair?
The extensions. Well, Becky and I, can I please read very quickly, like in 2 seconds, the article, the Cut published this article of like women who watched it when they were kids.
That hair, like
the
all
things
I wanted
that like it made them think. Okay, managing editor of the Cut. Every time I watch this movie, it makes me want to grow my hair out super long.
Yeah.
That's one reaction. Fashion news writer. I also love that Griffin Dunne never went on to direct another studio movie, and the set designer never did another set because they became a highly in-demand interior designer. Like, this is Griffin Dunne's only movie that he makes for studio, and it was amazing.
Okay.
So that's wild. Features editor writes, also, can we talk about their house for a second? Are they on Nantucket? It is true. Like, it's very hard to figure out where the hell are they, but I know they're near the Logan International Airport because they mention it. Staff writer writes, can we hire the interior designer for our new office? These are just some things that run through adult women's heads when they watch the movie now. But it is a beautiful story about sisters. And if you have young daughters, I 100% recommend it. There is like murder in the movie, so just careful with that, and some like ghosts and stuff.
Well, it's fine.
And there's some like possible sexual assault and domestic violence. I'm sorry, but it's not heavy. I would say it's like, I think 12 and up is fine. It's a great movie. A great movie. All right. Do you guys have anything else you've been watching before we close it out? Any shout outs and recs?
I don't have anything to add right now to this incredible list. Just that everyone should just watch My Sisters, like not in a creepy way, but just
follow us on Instagram.
Follow FNM Sisters.
FNM Sisters.
Yeah. Oh, I started watching the new season of Our Flag Means Death. And I'm just obsessed with Reese Darby, and he's the funniest.
You are very obsessed.
I've been a fan since the very beginning, and I continue to just find him absolutely hilarious, and everyone on that show. So,
Lil, do you want to do the closing?
Don't we have a bumper for that now?
We do. You can just say goodbye.
Thank you so much, guys. I love you. Follow us at Shai.
Not a movie, but we should honorable mention Orphan Black.
No, it's coming back.
Oh, and the other one,
coming back, by the way. They're making
not really.
like a spin-off?
Like a spin-off. Prequel.
But another show with great sister stuff is Moonshine, that stars Jennifer Finnegan. And that show is cool, and it's available in the States now. The first season is. That's a great family dramedy, and Jen Finnegan is awesome. And
shout out to Jen Finnegan. That's great.
Yeah. So people should watch Moonshine, and that has great sister stuff.
All right.
Love you guys.
Thanks, you guys. Love you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FriNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FriNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.